Good morning, everybody. It is 5:20 a.m. Central Time on Monday, July 18th, 2016. And I've got you looking at the Earthquake 3D live stream. I'm going to get this out on my channel immediately as soon as doing this quick update, letting everybody know a very rare 4.3 earthquake struck Western Virginia near the Kentucky and West Virginia border. This is a large earthquake, the largest earthquake to strike the East Coast since 2011, when the 5.9 struck in Virginia. I'm going to go ahead and pull the coordinates on this. We were watching for a large earthquake to strike on the East Coast, and I think at this point, people on the East Coast had sufficient warning to prepare for a larger earthquake to strike. We had warned over the past several days to watch for large movement to strike on the East Coast, particularly following the 4.3s that struck in Oklahoma over the past several days going into last week, and then the 4.1s and 4.2s that struck in Oklahoma just a few days ago. If you add in the 3.7 that struck off the coast of Florida just yesterday, this adds two very rare earthquakes on the East Coast in just a few days' time. So let's open up a display capture for you to see what I'm seeing on my screen, and you'll see that this is the earthquake as reported from the Europeans because the USGS still doesn't have it on their feeds. And I'm going to jump over and prove that to you. We're going to open up the USGS last 7-day feed. We don't have any 4.3 marked. We'll open up the last 24-hour feed. We don't have any earthquake marked. We'll open up the last 60-minute feed. And you don't see any earthquake reported there. Before we put this in from the Europeans, I'm going to go open up one more window, and we're going to go to earthquake.usgs.gov and just see if they have it even on their website yet. They don't even have it on their website, guys. I mean, this is just getting asinine with the USGS and their insufficient ability to report earthquakes. So we're going to have to rely on the Europeans to give us this earthquake information on the largest earthquake to strike in the United States in the last 5 years on the East Coast. Let's get the coordinates and go put them in on Google Earth, see what's there. This is pretty interesting. It's interesting to not see it on the USGS side, isn't it, guys? That you'd have to come here first to get the information before we would even find out from our own government on our own shores on the East Coast. So here we are. This is falling just east of Grundy and southeast of Hurley. The Europeans have the earthquake falling at 10 km below the surface. That rules out any mining operations. And we don't have any mining operations nearby. I don't see anything that stands out as odd right off the bat. That looks somewhat normal. We don't have anything on these clearings on the hillsides. Okay, well that kind of sums it up. No pumping operations there. No nearby quarries. And it is what it is. It's a very large earthquake to strike on the East Coast. So please get the word out. We issued a warning last night for the East Coast telling people to watch upon the eastern edge of the craton. 2 days ago, we issued a warning for 4.0 activity to strike along the edge of the craton and for the East Coast to be prepared for larger movement to strike. What more can I say? Have a plan, be prepared just in case. If you live on the East Coast, you need to pay attention to what strikes in the Midwest and on the West Coast, because that plays into your activity directly. Right now we're looking at the last 7 days of 3.0 and greater. You can see heavy activity struck on the West Coast starting over 7 days ago, then pushing to the Midwest with our 4.0 activity over the past 3 days, and then now the 3.7 off Florida and the 4.3 in Virginia. Maybe the USGS will get the act together and start to report the earthquakes on time. Right now, I'm going to get the video processed and get it up on my YouTube channel. Please, guys, share the Earthquake 3D live stream. I ask you from the bottom of my heart to do that because we're trying to get the word out and get the warnings out in time so that people have enough time to prepare. I'd like to point out 4.3 struck in Oklahoma at the start of 2016, and it knocked down chimneys and knocked facades off houses. It struck on the East Coast, luckily sparsely populated in this location. If it struck just a few miles east, say 100 miles to the east, we'd be talking about this in the morning news across the world. So hang in there. Much love, guys.